Hi everyone. How are you all doing? Today, I'm going to tell you the story of I Was Reincarnated as the Seventh Prince, Episode 2. The episode starts with a boy getting ready. After he finishes, he heads straight to the library. Inside the library, Lloyd is lying down and reading a book, and Graham is right beside him. Suddenly, Graham says that someone is coming inside. Lloyd calmly tells him to hide, and Graham quickly hides. The boy then asks, "Where can I find him?" Lloyd looks surprised and says, "Big Brother Albert." So, this boy turns out to be one of the 7 princes. After the opening song, the scene changes. We see Albert using his fire magic to shoot at a target. He hits it perfectly, and everyone starts cheering for him. The prince says, "Albert is really good at this, isn't he?" Graham replies, "As the second prince, he should have skills like this." Prince continues, "Not only is he strong, he's also very intelligent. People say he'll become a great king someday. He has permission to use all the facilities in the royal palace. And sometimes, like today, he invites me here. Since I live in the palace, I don't get many chances to cast spells, so I'm really grateful to him for that." Albert then says, "Now it's your turn, Lloyd." Lloyd replies, "Yeah, I have no interest in the throne. If I show too much power, people will start making a big deal out of it. I just want to quietly study magic and do my research." Graham asks, "So what are you going to do now?" The prince says, "For now, I'll just spin the fireball and touch the targets." "But isn't that harder than just hitting the target?" Graham said. Then the prince throws the fireball, and the fireball touches all of the targets one by one. The maids start clapping, but one royal servant says, even after receiving the gift as the 7th prince, he only managed to touch the targets. Graham gets annoyed and says, "What an idiot. He touched all of them. Don't they understand how difficult that actually is?" The prince says, "Spinning the fireball wasn't a bad idea. It uses less mana. He really is crazy about magic." Albert looks happy and says, "Lloyd, I'm going to take a break now. If you want, you can keep practicing." Lloyd smiles and says, "Thanks so much. Yes, I feel great now, Graham. There's no one here, so I want to try a lot of things." Graham asks, "Like what?" "Like your dual incantation." "Wait, that's impossible. That unique ability only demons have." "I've got an idea," the prince says, and with that, he absorbs Graham into his hand. From inside his hand, Graham shouts, "No sane person would put a demon inside their own body." The prince says, "Let's try it. Graham, can you cast Infernal Fireball?" "Don't look down on demons. Casting an advanced spell like that is nothing for me." "Then let's begin." But when Graham starts to cast the spell, he suddenly panics. Lloyd asks, "What's wrong with you?" "That was my line." "What was that just now?" "That was spell stack." Using the spell stack technique, you can compress incantations. That means you can stack many incantations together and cast spells much faster. I was chanting 100 spells at once. 100? There's no way I can do that. I can only chant 2 or 3 lines at the same time. The prince replies, "Then that would take all day." After thinking for a moment, he suddenly speaks using Graham's mouth. "Oh, I can talk with this mouth too. Okay. Test. Good. Now I can talk with 2 mouths at once." Graham, struggling, says, "Wait, are you really going to cast 2 advanced spells at the same time?" The prince answers, "Sorry, I'm borrowing your mouth for a bit." Then he starts a dual incantation, Infernal Fireball and Tempest Waterbolt. What is this? This is impossible. He's stacking one advanced spell on top of another and combining them both. This is ridiculous. The mana is getting insanely dense. Lloyd says, "So this is dual incantation. This shouldn't be possible. I'm going to release it up there." So Lloyd releases the spell into the sky, and everyone in the kingdom is terrified. The scene changes. A royal servant says to Albert, "I have to ask, why do you give the 7th prince so many privileges? He has some talent in magic, but he's still just a child." Albert replies, "You're all blind. His fireball touched every single target perfectly. He was probably controlling it exactly the way he wanted. He's a genius. Someday, he could become a great magician. I know that in the future, he'll be our strongest ally." A noble says, "Yes, and you're going to be our king. You don't want to stand in the way of a future great magician, do you?" Albert says, "Oh, be quiet. I just want to get along with my little brother, and I think, by now, he's already blown away all the targets." The servant replies, "Sir, that's a bit of an exaggeration." Then another servant looks outside and says, "Wait, did it get dark this fast?" Outside, it really has become dark. Graham trembles and says, "This can't be happening." He pierced a hole in the atmosphere. "I can see the night sky." Lloyd opens his eyes in fear and says, It's okay. Slowly, the sky returns to normal. Lloyd then says, "That scared me." The next day, Graham is reading the newspaper. The headline says, "A mysterious hole in the sky." Graham says, "Hey, what you did yesterday is already in the news." Lloyd replies, "Yeah, I was honestly scared." Then he suddenly stands up after seeing a picture on the back page of the newspaper. An A-rank adventurer party has cleared a high difficulty dungeon. They came back with lots of valuable treasure and many magical items. Hearing this, Lloyd immediately wants to go to a dungeon, but Graham says, "If you suddenly disappear, everyone in the royal palace will start worrying." Lloyd answers, "That's not a problem. We can solve this with magic and a bit of creativity." Then Lloyd uses a seed and creates a body that looks exactly like himself, using a plant class spell called Wooden Replica. But just having a look-alike body isn't enough. Silpha would notice the difference. So he transfers Graham's soul into that body, and absorbs Graham's real body into his hand. After that, he sets off in search of a dungeon. And now, Lloyd can talk to Graham through his hand. Graham thinks, he's not here anymore, now I can do whatever I want. But then Lloyd says, "I'm really happy to have you, Graham. I trust you a lot." Hearing that, tears start coming out of Graham's eyes. That's when we realize, Graham is starting to change. After that, Lloyd says, "Okay, I've left the castle, but I actually have no idea where any dungeon is." He sees a girl running away from a group of demons. The girl suddenly turns around and attacks, and defeats the demons very quickly. Lloyd and Graham are shocked when they see her breathing technique and martial arts. The girl then says, "Lowly orcs, it would take you 100 years to defeat me." Watching from a distance, Lloyd says, "So this breathing technique is called Chi." At that moment, the girl senses Lloyd's presence and says, "Who are you? Why are you watching from so far away?" But since she doesn't get an answer, she runs down the mountain toward him. Lloyd panics, not knowing what to do, and quickly uses an illusion class spell called Imitation. Using his dual incantation, he mixes his brother Albert's face with his own and creates a completely new appearance. When the girl reaches him, she asks, "Who are you?" Lloyd replies, "Hello, my name is Loberto. I'm a new adventurer." The moment she sees him, she falls for him. She says, "Loberto, my name is Tao. I'm a B-rank adventurer and a martial artist. Nice to meet you." "Nice to meet you too, Tao." Lloyd whispers to Graham, "Do you think she's suspicious of me?" Graham answers, "Your new appearance is absolutely perfect." Inside her mind, Tao thinks, "He's so hot. I trained until I was 18, then ran away from my dojo and became an adventurer to look for romance. Finally, my time has come. I'm going to make him my boyfriend no matter what." Lloyd says, "I was thinking maybe we could clear a dungeon together, but if you're busy, then I can just." Tao quickly says, "I'll go with you." "Ah, thanks." Then Tao takes him into a dungeon. Tao fights the demons all by herself, while Lloyd keeps filling his crystal bag with loot. Lloyd asks, "Do you always go adventuring alone?" Tao replies, "Yeah, actually, I couldn't find any good, party members." Later, while they're eating, Lloyd asks, "You use Chi when you fight, right?" Tao says, "You know about Chi. People around here don't really know about it. It's kind of like a magician's mana, right? You use it through breathing." As she says that, Lloyd starts practicing. Tao explains, "You noticed it correctly. Chi starts and ends with breathing. When you breathe in and fill your whole body with Chi, you can release superhuman strength. But sensing Chi inside your body requires a lot of training." Then Tao looks at Lloyd in shock. Lloyd has already started to sense Chi. She says, "Are you using a breathing technique?" Lloyd replies, "Yeah. I was trying to copy you, but it's a bit difficult." "Copy me? Stop, Loberto. You're not used to this. You could burn your throat." Inside his mind, Lloyd thinks, "I can feel it, a kind of energy inside me, different from mana. I can use this power and even combine it with magic." Seeing that Lloyd can actually do it, Tao says, "All right, I'll teach you about Chi." "Thank you, Tao." Meanwhile, Graham is enjoying a luxurious life. But then Silpha shows up and drags him away for training. Back in the dungeon, Tao is teaching Lloyd, "This is Chi Blast. And I just defeated the boss of this dungeon, the Grey Wolf. That means the dungeon treasure should be unlocked now. If a dungeon isn't very big, you can't really expect a lot of treasure." Lloyd says, "So the treasure chest only opens after the boss is defeated. What a strange design. This place is full of mysteries." Tao replies, "Looking at you, it feels like you're more interested in the treasure chest itself than what's inside it." Lloyd says, "I'm interested in what's inside too." Inside her mind, Tao thinks, he learned to use Chi so fast. It feels like I've hit the jackpot. Lloyd says, "All right, let's open the treasure chest." Tao replies, "Yeah, but I don't think there'll be anything too exciting inside." Just as Tao is about to open it, something suddenly attacks from beneath the chest. Lloyd jumps in and saves Tao. A lich emerges from below. Lloyd says, "So, is this the real boss?" And with that, the episode ends. Friends, let me know in the comments how you liked the video. I'm still new, so there might be a lot of mistakes. Thanks so much for watching. I'll be seeing you guys in my next video.